Hispanic Immigration to Houston and How Discrimination Led to Low Voter Turnout, narrated by Jacob Huling as part of a course requirement for the University of Houston's Houston History Since 1836 class. The United States is a cultural melting pot, a place where people from different nationalities come to make a better life for themselves. With Houston now being the epicenter of diversity according to the Kinder Institute for Urban Research at Rice University, which cites the city as the nation's most diverse in America, with demographics comprising of 31% white, 42% Hispanic, 19% black, 8% Asian. This influx of individuals from various cultures has enveloped life in Houston and facilitated a distinct atmosphere where new experiences wait around every corner. However, things have not always been so pleasant in Bayou City. This is especially true for the minority population who helped build the city from the ground up. In just the past couple of decades, Houston has finally started to embrace its diversity, but it's important to acknowledge the trials and tribulations many Hispanics faced to gain recognition and what implications this has had on the democratic process of voting. During the 20th century, the United States federal government established the Emergency Quota Act of 1921 and then doubled down and enacted the Immigration Act of 1924. These quota systems were to, quote, keep out the undesirable ethnic groups and maintain America's character as a nation of Northern and Western European stock, end quote. Furthermore, this heinous system would not be replaced until the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which introduced a system of preferences based on immigrant skills and family relationship with U.S. citizens or U.S. residents. This ill treatment would not come to an end until the Chicana Movement throughout the 1960s, which through a consistent aid of organizations like the League of United Latin American Citizens, the Political Association of Spanish-Speaking Organizations, and the Mexican American Youth Organization. These organizations worked tirelessly to alter not only the discriminatory laws, but the public's perception of Spanish and Latin American citizens as well. Mayo was especially important by providing a combination of grassroots activism, like sit-ins, protests, and boycotting, while more affluent organizations like LULAC and PASO tackled the legal side of the altercation in Houston. Through these organizations, much improvement has been accomplished. However, there is still lasting impacts which cannot be undone so easily. Subsequently, in Houston, many Hispanics feel disenfranchised and that their voice doesn't matter in the political sector. Fast forward to today, and though there's been much improvement, systematic discrimination still persists in Houston. And in the 2020 election, Texas closed more polling locations than any other state. More specifically, Governor Greg Abbott, through an emergency order, limited mail-in ballot drop-offs to 1 per county. This outraged many in Harris County, as it's larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. Even Linda Hidalgo came out to blast the governor, stating that this is not, quote, security, it's suppression, end quote. Paired with some of the nation's harshest voter ID restrictions, many Houston Hispanics still feel disenfranchised and that their opinions don't matter. Overall, Texas still has a long way to go before it finally starts to see its population demographics represented. And though there was record voter turnout in the 2020 election, many minorities still found themselves unable to cast a ballot. However, hope is not lost, and many analysts are now citing Hispanic vote as being pivotal to shifting Texas either way. So whatever party wants to win Texas in the future, it must first mobilize its most disenfranchised demographic.